Welcome back to our digital literacy class, day 4. This is the part B of the lesson. So, like I said earlier, we're talking on Google Drive and Docs, and I said Docs here stand for documents. So we are talking on Google Drive and documents. So now, what is Google Drive? Google Drive is a free service tool from Google that allows you to store files and access them anywhere using cloud. I'm sure we've all heard of cloud storage before. If you've not heard of cloud storage, please go browse it up. Now, Google Drive also gives access to free web-based application for creating documents, spreadsheet, presentation, etc. So, Google Drive does not just store your files, it allows you to create, share, and manage documents. Now, let me explain this. For instance, you have 3 devices, probably you have 2 phones and a laptop, and then you have a Google Drive account. Whatever work you do and save on your Google Drive account in one device can be accessed from any other device you log into that your account. So you can access it with your other phone, you can access it with your laptop. You created it with your laptop, and probably you stepped out, you're not with your laptop, and there's an emergency and you need to access it, and you're with your phone. With your phone, you log into your Google Drive, that particular Google Drive account. In fact, you can virtually access your Google Drive from any device that has internet access. So you only need to log into the Google Drive account connected to that Google Drive. So this is like you walking around with your information anywhere you wish to. You only need to know the account details of your Google Drive. So it does not just allow you to store files, it allows you to create, share, and manage the document. You can also share the document you have from within there. You can create using Google Document. There's Google Docs, which is short for Google Document. It works just the way the Microsoft Word works. And then there's the Google Slide and the rest. So below are some types of file you can create and share on Google Drive. Like I said earlier, there's documents, the Google Doc, which is short for Google Documents, for composing letters, flyers, essays, and other text-based files, just the same way you use your Microsoft Office Word. That is how the Google Docs work. And then there's the spreadsheet for storing and organizing information. This works exactly the same way like your Excel in your Microsoft Office Excel. That is how the Google spreadsheet works. And then there's the Google presentation. This is used for creating slideshows that works exactly the same way like your PowerPoint in your Microsoft Office. And then you have the forms, Google Forms, for collecting and organizing data. For instance, you can use this, you can create this form and circulate it, and then people use it as they fill their data. You can access their data through them, and then you organize it for use. And then there is Google Drawings for creating simple vector graphics or design. So these are some of the files you can create and share on your Google Drive. I'm sure most of you do not know about this. You can actually access your Google Drive and do some of these things with your phone, right on your Android or smart devices. You can create a Google document. You can create a Google spreadsheet or presentation or form or drawing, whichever form of this. You can do that even right on your Android device. So how do you access your Google Drive? Like I said, every one of us using Android phones today have a Google Drive embedded in it, So you have it. So now how do you access it? Or you could have it, but you've not yet activated it, but you can still activate it. How do you still access? To access Google Drive, you will need a Google account. Like I said, virtually every Android device today mandates you to own a Google account, because it's through a Google account that you can be able to access so many of the applications in that your device. So you need to own a Google account or set up a Google account. And remember, Google accounts are free of charge. You don't need to pay to set up a Google account. So to create a Google account, you simply go to www.google.com Have you seen my cursor? It has changed. Remember when we talked about cursor earlier? So this is a typical example. This is the I, the one that comes in the form of capital I, that select text. This is for link, the one that comes in the form of the pointed finger. So that's not really the point, just needed to point this out. So when you go to www.google.com, locate and select the sign in button in the top right corner of the page. Now, click on create an account. Remember, this is for those that don't have a Google account. Click on create an account. The sign up form will appear. Follow the instructions below it. Next, enter your phone number. A verification code will be sent by Google to the phone that you use to complete the sign up. Enter the verification code and click verify. Personal information page will appear. Follow the instruction and fill as appropriate. Review Google Terms of Service and Privacy Policy. Then click I agree. They say review, they did not just say click I agree. That means you have to read through the terms and privacy and of Google, and then be sure that there are terms that you are comfortable with. Afterward, you can now click on I agree. If you don't accept, leave it and forget about setting up an account. Now, just like for every other online service, you need to create a very strong password. We'll come back to this password. Remember, we said it before. We'll still come back to it again. Now, accessing your Google Drive. Yes, once you have set up your Google account, you can access Google Drive by going to this link in your web browser. Just type it in http://drive.google.com, your web browser. Your drive will be empty, but as you begin to upload and create files, you can view, manage, and organize them. You can view the files, you can manage the files, and you can organize your files. But at the point of creation, your drive will be empty. So this is how it looks while you're trying to set up your Google Drive and access it rather. Giving this material so you can see this more clearly. Now, to create a new file within your Google Drive, how do you go about it? Locate and select new. Then choose the type of file you want to create. Example, we choose Google Doc to create a new document. Go through this and try to practice it. You can even do this on your phone for those of you that may not have laptop immediately to work with. So follow this step and create a new file. Using Google Doc, create a new file on your Google Drive. You see, when you open it, you can see Google Doc, Google Sheet, Google Slide. So since you're creating the document you're creating, the file you're creating is a document file, so you go to Google Doc and then you click on new. Your new file will appear in the new tab on the browser. Locate and select Untitled Document. What is that? Untitled Document. Then you rename it, change the name. The rename dialog box will appear. Here you can name your file, then click OK on the rename dialog box. You can see it here. This is example of what you see on Untitled Document. So when you click on it, you select itself out, and then you click and type the name that you want to use for that new file you're creating. So here we have quarterly report as the name you want to use, and then you click on OK. So your new file is created. You can see here under my drive, quarterly reports. So this is how you create a Google document on your Google Drive. Now, there are two types of files that can be stored on Google Drive. You have files you can edit, like your Google document files, your PDFs, and other text-based files. Now you have files you cannot edit, like your music, your video, and your compressed files. So once you upload the file, no matter what file it is, you will be able to manage, organize, share, and access it from anywhere. Manage means, how do you want the file to be? Do you want the file to be accessible to others, to everybody? Do you want the file to be accessible to just a particular person, or do you not want the file to be accessible to anybody at all? All of that, you can set it up within that particular file. I could have up to 10 files in Google Drive, for instance, and have different settings for every one of them. Probably I want person A to have access to file A, and I want person B to have access to file B, and I don't want anybody to have access to file C, and I want everybody to have access to file B. All of this they can manage with the file. There are settings that allows you to do this. We'll be looking at that later. And then you can access, like I said, you can share and access your file. You understand? With you can share your file with anybody and access it from anywhere. So that brings us to the end of today's class. We don't, aside from the assignment earlier mentioned, there are no new assignments for you. Please read up and improve on your knowledge. Thank you for staying with us. See you in the next class.